Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tony Rivera and I'm the Managing Director of Azure Minerals. Thank you for attending and listening to the presentation for our company and what we're up to. Just a corporate snapshot of the company very quickly is that Azure has been an Australian listed company on the ASX since 2003. We currently have 242 million shares on issue with a share price of approximately 20 cents, so that we have a market cap of around about $48 million. Got $4 million in cash and a debt in the form of a convertible note to our second biggest shareholder for $2 million. Our major shareholders are the Creasy Group, which is led by Mark Creasy, and Deutsche Balaton, which is led by Thomas Zors. With Tech Resources at 11%, those three major shareholders control about 48% of our company. Share price has been doing very well recently. We've had some great success. We've got some new projects in Western Australia, and things are looking very positive for the company. For the last few years, Azure has been exploring in Mexico, and we decided that due to COVID that we would return and pivot back to Western Australia, where there was obviously a very vibrant and exciting mining industry that is growing again in the last few months. And then as a result of that, we've been able to diversify both in the terms of commodities and also in our jurisdictions, which has reduced the risk for the company and is increasing our opportunities in the near term. The Mexican projects that we have still remain a key component for the company, but activities are going to be restricted due to COVID for a little while longer, although we do expect to start drilling on our silver and gold project called Alacrán in November of this year. But this presentation is mainly about talking about our West Australian projects. In the middle of this year, we acquired 4 new projects from the Creasy Group and Mark Creasy. One of them is the Andover project, which is a nickel and copper project, which is now a joint venture, 60% Azure and 40% Creasy, and 3 gold projects, Turner River, Mallina and Kookynie, which are all 70-30 joint ventures between Azure and Creasy. All of these projects are located in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. This is a tier 1 exploration and mining region. It's a great place to do business. There's a lot of mining in that, a lot of exploration activities, and the infrastructure that's available in place is first world, first class. The main projects, Andover is, as I mentioned, nickel and copper project where new discoveries of nickel were made by Mark Creasy in drilling in 2018. And that's our flagship project in Western Australia going forward. The other 3 projects, the gold projects, are all in great locations, particularly the Turner River Gold Project, which is adjacent to De Grey Mining's recent Hemi discovery, which is looking very, very promising. The opportunities are for the company, in particular, are focused on the Andover nickel and copper project. And this is a diagram showing the 70 square kilometre project located just to the south of Roebourne. Access is first class. You fly out of Perth up to Karratha, and then there's a half-hour drive from Karratha to site. So 2.5 hours from Perth Airport to arrive on site. All the infrastructure that one needs to build an exploration and a mining project is available in the region. And we anticipate that we won't have any issues at all with infrastructure. So zooming in on the Andover project, we've got a diagram here that shows outlined in blue the tenement, the exploration licence. 70 square kilometres, which has been held by Creasy since around about 2008. And during that time, he's carried out mapping, geological sampling, airborne VTEM surveys and also fixed loop geophysical surveys. And then in 2018, he conducted a drilling program with RC drilling of 7 holes into 4 different targets. And of those targets that he tested, 3 holes in 2 different targets hit significant nickel and copper sulphide mineralisation. And that mineralisation has been labelled a new nickel discovery. In addition to that, multiple targets still remain to be tested, and so there's a lot of exploration still to be done. But the 2 main project areas, or 2 main prospects that we're going to be focused on, is labelled there as Target 1 and Target 2, and that's the area where we're very much focused on. So this is an outline of the area where Mark Creasy drilled in 2018, with holes 1 and 2 located in Target number 1, They both hit very good nickel and copper mineralisation, massive and semi-massive and disseminated nickel sulphide mineralisation in both holes 1 and 2, very close to surface, from as little as 6 metres down in hole 1 and also 43 metres down in hole number 2. And the second target number 2, there was also a really good drill intersection in hole number 6. So we've got 2 great locations to follow up on, and this is where we're going to be focused. The exploration is now underway at Andover. We commenced in the middle of August with geophysical surveying, and that's been continuing for the last 6 weeks, and it's now just completed this week. As a result of that, we've tested 10 different locations, and we've identified multiple EM targets, electromagnetic conductors that represent bedrock conductors, which in turn could represent bedrock-hosted nickel sulphide mineralisation. So we're going to be going in there and drilling very shortly. In fact, I expect to be drilling there within the first couple of days of October. The drilling priorities are those targets number 1 and 2, and what you can see on here is an image of target number 1. The pink is the one of the geophysical conductors that's been identified by the EM surveys. And the holes in there are the initial holes, ADRC 1 and 2, which were drilled by Creasy, which hit the good nickel and nickel sulphide mineralisation. We've got 3 holes planned in here. That's the initial program. That'll be followed up by additional drilling to follow the down dip and long strike extensions of the nickel mineralisation. This is a cross section which shows the mineralisation that's been hit. In black shows the 2 RC holes. They both intersected semi-massive and stringers and levy disseminated nickel copper sulphide mineralisation. The downhole EM surveys that were done identified strong in-hole conductors that extend into what's called off-hole conductors, so away from the drill intersections, which indicates that there's good potential for extensive sulphide mineralisation at depth, down dip, and also along strike. So the initial 3 holes are shown on here, and we'll be testing those drilling those within the next 2 weeks. And following on from that, there'll be additional drilling. So in this project at Andover, it is a wonderfully located project. Not only has it got good infrastructure all around it, but it's got good access into it throughout the project area by vehicles. There's good outcrop in there, which within which we've identified good outcrops of nickel and copper gossans, outcropping nickel and copper sulphide mineralisation. And you can see in the photograph there of it's a drive-up drill target. In effect, you just drive in through there, around the hills, onto site and drill. So what we've got there is basically a first-class exploration project where the discoveries have already been made, and our drilling is going to be continuing to expand upon those discoveries. So where to from here for the company? So at Andover, we'll be continuing our exploration with the drilling of the surveys and the drilling of the intersections that have already been made, followed by drilling of the new conductors that the EM surveys have also just completed and identified. And we expect to be able to have first assay results late in October, and then the drilling will continue throughout the rest of this year, and we are already planning further diamond drilling into 2021. In addition to that, Mexico, and we don't want to forget that Mexico, we have some very, very valuable projects over there. Alacrán is the greatest of those. There are very strong existing silver and gold resources at Alacrán, and we'll be doing some more diamond drilling of those targets in November of this year. Alacrán has got measured and indicated resources of over 32 million ounces of silver and 150,000 ounces of gold. And that mineralisation outcrops on top of a hill. Within that, there is a very high-grade measured resource of over 15 million ounces that within 1.8 million tonnes at a grade of just under 10 ounces to the tonne silver, one of the highest grade unexploited silver discoveries in the world. And as I mentioned, diamond drilling will be restarting on that one next month. In Oposura, it's a massive sulphide zinc-lead silver project. It's on hold at the moment, but great resources sitting there, and it's just waiting for the zinc price to increase, and we'll be able to action more activity on that project in the near future, we hope. So where to from here? The company is cashed up. The company's got some great projects, both here in Australia and in Mexico, and we'll be continuing our work going forward, and I look forward to being able to share with you further good news in the near future. Thank you.